Hi guys, I just wanted to do a little update. I have my friend Tig back with me for a few days. It's a friend's cat, comes to stay with me for a few days every couple of months. It's a real sweetheart. So, when I spoke to you last, I'd got good news from the um, hospital about the breast cancer. And I mentioned that most of my pain was in my shoulder. It's once it hit about a week after, that pain spread down, and so where they put the thing in to do the biopsies, it's like ripped all that tissue. So it's like there's an indent where they've gone in, and the more time that passes, the more painful that's actually becoming. To a point, I do have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. I'm going to speak to them because it's been a week. It shouldn't be getting more painful, and it's indented, and this is quite interesting because it's like, well, once I have the surgery, I'm going to have an indent. So maybe getting used to having this indent from this thing being injected into me will give me a good idea of how I'll cope with a bigger indent when they take the lump out. We're coming up to All Hallows Eve, which is my favourite time of the year. My seances start tomorrow night. I have one Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. Seances are very different from talking to the spirits as an event, because it's obscure people that you don't know. It's people that are trapped. It's people that are coming to the light. There's a lot of candles lit. There's been a lot of candles lit around my house for the past 7 days anyway. And what that does is it lights the way for the spirits to come and find the way home. It's just the excitement I get is probably a bit like a kid at Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. I celebrate solstice. So yeah. So I wanted to say that. And originally I was really surprised. The pain was just in my arm, but as time has gone past, the pain has spread down. It didn't help. So the stitches are only like the stick-on ones, and you are told not to lift or pull anything heavy, which I promptly did a day after they said I could, but that actually split the stitches. So realistically, it probably shouldn't have a scar, though it probably will have a very, very faint one. The stitches have now totally healed up on the outside anyway. But I do have this ongoing pain, so that I will deal with. My headspace is great. My headspace is like I'm back to myself. One of the things I do have to mention is not cutting myself any slack, because my headspace, I've not got any fog, I'm not on any medication, I'm feeling so much better. I forget it hasn't been 4 weeks since my last back therapy. It's only been just over a week since the biopsies were done, and those were deep biopsies that were sitting almost on my rib cage. And so I'm expecting my body to match my head, and it's not, The other thing that I have noticed, because I have had chemo and radiation, is there are times where my muscles just feel like they've been poisoned. I'm sluggish. I really feel like a slug just trying to drag my body. My brain's like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And my body's just like, just really, really struggling. My muscles are struggling. My muscles ache. My bones ache. And there's no real reason for it except for maybe what I've been through. Someone has suggested maybe it's because I've been on this adrenaline roller coaster with what's going on, and now I'm on a low, because things are looking much better. But it might just be fatigue created by that. But I'm definitely feeling it in my muscles. This concerns me because a few people I've spoken to that have had cancer quite a few years ago also talk about this muscle fatigue that they still experience up to 10 years later. So I'm going to pull out some of my old herbal books, because poisoning, of course, used to be a thing in ancient times, whether it was food poisoning or people trying to poison everyone else off, lead poisoning. So much of what was out there was actually quite poisonous. So I want to see if there's some way to make some kind of tonic that will just take this slug-like energy out of my muscles. Okay, so that was just an update. And for the non-pagans, happy Halloween. For the pagans and the psychics and the empaths, happy All Hallows Eve. And may all the spirits that come to visit you be guided to a place of safety and love. Blessed be.